Alright, been a while since I've done a video on Macross, but I thought I'd redo my tier list um, because, you know, I did my New Year's watching of the entire series in chronological order again. Um, I have new thoughts that I'm going to do in a separate video, but for the purposes of this, I'm not going to go into that, and I'm just going to talk about um, the series where I rank them, because a lot of them have changed. My opinions of things have changed quite a bit. So, because because of rewatching different series and stuff like that, I've come to some conclusions that some things are better than others and some aren't, and that a couple have moved up or if a couple have moved down based on my previous list. And so I wanted to go over that. I'll put my previous list in the description, I guess, so people can take a look at it. And I'm going to go with the ones that haven't changed. Okay. So first, Delta TV series, just awful. Let's not even go there. Frontier TV series is better than it, but the ending still sucks with the Frontier TV series. Just fuck the Frontier TV series. It's just awful. And because everybody should know, my two favorites are Macross 2, which stays at the top, and Do You Remember Love? They basically stay at the same level as before, because my opinions of those haven't changed. And I think I gave Frontier TV series like a little bit higher rating before, but I'm not doing that this time because it's not that great of a TV series. Because it's just trying to rehash old things. Although, actually, I'll move it up one, because I think the only real bad TV series is Delta. That TV series is just awful. And the reason why I say this is because it has the episode. There's two episodes that I can say are actually really good in the Frontier TV series, and that is the one where they do the Macross Zero movie stuff, and near the end when they start talking about how the protoculture created the bird thing on Earth being based on the Bajra Queen, which that's only in the TV series. Or you could say there's some interesting lore stuff in the Delta TV series that doesn't match up to what the Frontier TV series did. So I'm not gonna be docking stuff like that. Okay. Next, this one really hasn't changed. The Macross TV series, the original Macross TV series. It's acceptable, although the animation quality can be pretty bad at times due to the way the scheduling, the time schedule worked and all that sort of stuff. So there is some limitations of the TV series, which is why the movie is like one of the greatest movies ever made. Whereas the TV series, for some episodes like Viva Maria or where was some of the other ones? Aiwa Nagareru, which is the final battle with Bordoza and stuff like that. Bulldoza, whatever you want to call him. There's some interesting stuff there, but there's a lot of filler episodes like Phantasm and Global Report. Those just waste time, but that was due to scheduling and they couldn't keep up with it. Plus the fact that the episode where Max and Miria have their little knife fight, the animation quality, as much as I like Max and Miria and I love Max and Miria being focused on in that episode, the animation quality is just awful, and I can't excuse that for Max and Miria, sorry. So that's why the TV series only gets an acceptable. Okay. for this tier list, they actually have the Macross 7 Encore stuff. So that's actually, or maybe I guess that's the TV series. I don't know. TV series 7 Encore. And they didn't put the movie in there. Oh, well, whatever. So let's get on to what I'm going to go about here. Macross 7 is solid. I'm not going to give it a great rating just because of how long it is. It can be quite off-putting to a lot of people. And it's, I would say there's, because I have my Macross 7 review up. Anybody can go look at that on my channel. The Macross 7 TV series, there's some great episodes in it. There's a lot of episodes that kind of drag the show along a little bit, and that kind of, it's why doing a marathon watching of Macross is so hard. And this year I did it the chicken way, and I actually slept and paused it during it this year, and then I went back to it at a later time, so it took me longer to finish the marathon this year, just for that specific reason. But it's all because 7 is such a drag. 7 can just, take so much. And another thing that bothers me about 7, and this is something that I didn't mention in my review of 7, but I'll say it here, is that, like, there's so little, like, there's a lot of Miria fighting and being cool and stuff, but there's so little of Max fighting, and that because of the enemy being, Proto-Devlin and stuff like that, they don't get to show off how good they are. And that's kind of a missed opportunity, in my opinion. And so, I mean, they showed off Miria quite well, but after she got her VF 17D. But other than that, I'm not, like, there's great stuff in 7. I'm not going to say it's a terrible series, but I think the length, and there's a lot of missed opportunities in it that could have been done better. I'll just say that. Dynamite 7, you exist. I think this is lower than what I put it before. I believe it is. Because after rewatching it, it brings in the lore that actually leads into the Bajra being able to exist, and the way that the songs affect, animals and stuff with, like the what is it, the space whales or whatever, or the galaxy whales. They're called Ginga Kujira, so galaxy whales, I guess. It's a better name for them, but honestly, it only it adds in the lore of Zola, which is important to Delta with Dana, right? But I'm gonna get into that in a little bit. Something I noticed during this watch through this marathon that that actually makes me lower my opinion of a lot of stuff about Delta. More so than it was before. But it doesn't really do anything, and it doesn't answer the question of, Basara Gamlin and Mylene. It leaves that completely open, which becomes a standing thing going forward with most Macross stuff after 7 is, let's have just open-ended endings with no real answers, and and Frontier is great for this. No, concise answers to anything at the end. There's no conclusion to it, which bothers the hell out of me. So my opinion on 7 is, on Dynamite 7, has actually soured. Then this is Encore, and I'm guessing this is probably including the Macross 7 movie and stuff. Now, these are really good. The 3 Encore episodes, along with the 7 movie, are absolutely, well, the 7 movie is compiled with the Macross Plus movie edition, and it's just another episode, and it just what is it? what is it? It has Imedia, another genus, so I'm happy about that. So we get to learn a little bit more about the genus family. There's the pictures in the background where it shows her with the family, so she's like with the twins and stuff like that. So, I really like it just for that alone. Plus, the song Heart and Soul is amazing, but that's beside the point. Um, but, yeah, the encore episodes, having the voice actors for Sailor Moon doing the voice of Chloe of the Zentradi, just, yes. Plus the fact that Max and Miria kiss, and, Miria is showing love to Max in that particular episode. Yeah, just give me the encore episodes. Are amazing. Let's see. Let's go on to Plus. I'm doing this in random order because it doesn't matter what the order is. There aren't that many. All right, Plus. I think this is increasing my opinion of it before. Probably because, recent Macross is so bad that Plus actually is better. I still don't like Kanoyoko. I will never like Kanoyoko. And to prove that, my favorite song in Macross Plus is Information High, and she had nothing to do with it. So, but that I'm gonna go into some Frontier and stuff about that's related to Plus in a minute, because we're gonna get into that. Because there's something that really bothers me about the post 2000s Macross. And it's directly rated at Plus. But Plus in and of itself is solid. I'm not going to say it's the best, because it's not. It'll never be on the level of 2 or Do You Remember Love? Never, 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 never. No one can honestly say that. Okay, you can't put this anywhere near these two. Sorry. All right, let's go to the first Frontier. Actually, no. Yeah, let's do Frontier first. Actually, no. I'll change it. We'll do Zero first, because everything after Zero is directly connected to Zero in some way. So I need to state my opinion of Zero. I think Zero is the best Macross in the last 25 years. I honestly think, like, it's original. It has original ideas. It doesn't, go on, it doesn't, take ideas from other Macross and just, use them for fan service. Like, the fact that Roy Fokker is in this is actually very much important to the story and relates to his, things going on with, because of it being just a year before the original Macross starts. It's in 2008, whereas the Do You Remember Love and stuff, the original Macross era starts in 2009. And so there's some important things about that. I like the characters. There's not so many that you get overwhelmed by them. They all have important roles to play. It's, this is definitely, I'm putting it up in the best, because I think people underrate Zero, and Zero is definitely one of the coolest Macross that there is. And it's sad that, the post-Zero era of Macross has been just not that great, right? So, meaning Frontier and Delta, right? So, let's move along to the Frontier stuff. So, my opinions of the Frontier movies have kind of gone up. So, I would give the first Frontier movie that one. I'll make it solid, and I'll give the second Frontier movie. Oh, whoops. I did that wrong. So, this is Sauna Tsubasa. This is the TV series, alright? Okay, my bad. So, the ending for this one, meh. But, I think my opinions have changed where I think it's better than Dynamite 7. I don't think it would be better than the original TV series, but I'm not gonna, shit on for that. I will say that the reason why my opinions have changed about Frontier is mostly because my opinions of Delta have changed. And a lot of the lore, I think, from Delta, because it's so close in proximity to Frontier, like, I think that Frontier does a better job a lot of this stuff. Especially in terms, what I noticed, and this is something I didn't pay attention to before, is actually the CG in Frontier is better than Delta. Okay? This is very damning, I think. Because just say the Frontier movies finished in what, 2010, 11, something around there. Was when Sauna Tsubasa came out, and it has better CG going for it than things that came years after that. So that's quite damning of Delta, in my opinion. Also damning of Kawamori as well, because he didn't put in enough effort, and he put more effort in Frontier than he did with Delta, which really bothered me. He hasn't been on his game. Anyway, let's go on to the first Delta movie. Just yuck. No, this is god awful. We can't honestly say that the first Delta movie is any good. It's just, I noticed some inconsistencies in some of the lines. The editing is bad. It's just no. Because the way they did the cuts from the TV series to put in the movie were just awful. Now this is gonna be the one that's gonna frighten everybody. My opinion of the second Delta movie has dropped quite a bit. So let's get into this, because as you can see, compared to before, I've put 0 at the top and I've moved Zettai Raibu down. Okay? Why is this? One, while Zettai Raibu, before I thought it was on par, like it was still under the top 2, but it wasn't, like that great, right? The thing that bothers me the most is that this movie was in 2021. The CG is actually a downgrade from Sauna no Tsubasa, from the second Frontier movie. It's a far, far downgrade from 0, where 0 mixed hand-drawn animation with CG, and it did like some CG cleanup and stuff, but the CG in 0 is far superior. And that was from, what, 2002 or something like that? So, that's extremely damning of the quality of it. The thing that gets me, that started to get on my... I don't want to say get on my nerves, but change my opinion of the second Delta movie, is the songs are too busy. If you listen to the old Macross, hell, even Frontier, watch Frontier, even watch a Frontier TV series, there's a lot of actual background music, not vocal music, like actual background music to create like the atmosphere for the scenes. This is something that, 2, Do You Remember Love, 7, although 7 has a lot of the background music from 2 in it, like, it uses a lot of background music from 2. It uses a lot of vocal tracks from 2 as background music. It uses the unreleased 2 track as like one of its main background tracks of the series. But like, think about Frontier plus Zero, Do You Remember Love, the original Macross TV series. I mean, even, the Frontier TV series. Um, uh, they all have like background music. And the one thing that Delta's background music has for it is that it's completely unmemorable. It and I own the soundtrack to the movie. I own the movie soundtrack. I have it. But the background music is very weak. It doesn't create an atmosphere. Most of the atmosphere comes from the vocal tracks, especially the Yamikure tracks, which, when re-listening to, like Delta music in general, the thing I find that is that they're trying to make the songs really, really complicated musically. Not simple, to the point, nice songs. Think of like Moichiro Love You from Macross 2, the song that Ishtar sings it in the final, the climax of the series, the final episode. It's a very simple, nice love song, ballad kind of thing. That's not high tempo. It's it's very nice, right? You listen to any of the songs, and this goes for any Delta song, even Axia or Giraffe Blues, even the ballads have this problem, is that they're very, very busy for what they are. And I think that takes away from the entire thing. Now, am I saying this is a terrible movie? No, I'm not. But when rewatching 7 and listening to how Exodore is so sarcastic in the way he talks, and his mannerisms, and then you watch him in Delta and how he's mellowed, and they like, he plays an important role, like explaining things, but he doesn't have that same feel from 7. And the whole purpose of putting him and Max in there were to get the older fans into it. The reason why they did Yamikure was because they wanted to bring some, things back from Plus, which actually from the original TV series after Messer dies and Kaname gets his little bracelet thing with the song Axie in it, that's a throwback to Plus as well. That's something I noticed this time as well that I didn't notice before. But I think that due to how busy the songs are, how, they have this like girl power song on there that I absolutely despise. It's it is the one song in Macross I can say that I hate. I absolutely hate this song. It's called Mirai wa Onna no Tame ni Aru. And it was a single that was released in between the TV series, the first movie, and the second Delta movie. And I have hated that song from the minute I've heard it. I absolutely despise that song. It is like a total feminist hooray song, and I just can't stand it. And that's in the second Delta movie. They a lot of the scenes where there needs to be more, room to breathe, doesn't have that breathing room, especially in the first Delta movie. There needed to be a little bit more. And looking after watching the second Delta movie so many times since it came out, and rewatching it and stuff like that, that it's not as impactful, and it's not as well made as some of the other stuff in the IP. So, but I wanted to state my opinions on this because it's just a matter of my opinions have completely changed on Macross and the IP as a whole, and some things have gone up, some things have gone down. Especially Zero. I think Zero deserves a lot more respect. I did my Zero review a long time ago. I'm thinking about doing a revisitation of that in the future, because I think that my opinions in that have changed quite a bit. So here's my tier list. At the top has to be 2 and Do You Remember Love at equal level. I think 0 is still below them, but it's still great. I think it's one of the better things in Macross that people should watch it. I think the Macross 7 movie encore stuff is great. Solid here. You know, this is all solid stuff here. These are acceptable. Then the rest are just down there. So anyway, that I just wanted to remake this to do my tier list again, because opinions have changed and I wanted to get those opinions out. It's something I've been thinking about for a long time. So I will see you on the next video, which I will be talking about my rewatching of, like, doing my marathon again this year and everything about that. So anyway, see you in the next video.